We're ready to go.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I will call the September 8th, 2025 meeting of the Newtown Township Board of Supervisors to order. I will note that the board did meet an executive session at 6 p.m. I apologize for starting this meeting late. At that meeting, we discussed the following zoning cases: 218 4th Avenue, 3420 Tyson Road, 20 Mary Jane Lane, the Village of Four Seasons, and 0 Chestnut Street. With regards to litigation matters, we had an update on 2 injunction matters related to a lack of permits and 1 update on an injunction matter related to a zoning violation. With regards to personnel matters, we had a discussion on 2 employee disability issues. With that being said, Mr. Neese, please call the roll.
Mr. Altieri.
Here.
Ms. Roberts Lightcap. Ms. Chanlis.
Here.
Mr. Russo.
Here.
Mr. San Francisco.
Here.
Your engineer, solicitor, and manager are here.
Thank you very much. We'll now move down to item 4, the moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. And we will stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we'll move down to section 5, agenda 5.1. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Supervisor Russo, seconded by Supervisor Roberts Lightcap. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Section 6, public comment for agenda items only. If there's any members of the public who wish to provide any public comment, please come to the podium, state your name and address for the record. Let the record reflect there is no public comment. Section 7, minutes, 7.1. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from the April 11, 2025 meeting?
Second.
I think you wanted to say August,
What did I say?
April.
Oh, yeah, sorry, August 11, 2025 meeting.
Sorry.
Yeah, wishful. So Supervisor Russo, you made that motion. You fine with that amendment? Supervisor Chanlis, you seconded it?
Yep.
Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Section 8, report, 8.1, report from the Police Department, Chief Lunn. Anything to supplement to your report? Thank you very much. 8.2, report from the Fire Chief, Fire Department, Chief Young is not here, so I don't think there's anything to add to his report. 8.3, report from the Public Works Department, Mr. Sharretts. Anything to add to your report? Thank you very much. 8.4, report from the Codes Department, Mr. Reczek. I know you're online. Do you have anything to add to your report?
Nothing to add.
Thank you, sir. 8.5, report from the Finance Department, Director Barbine. Anything to add? Thank you, sir. 8.6, report from the library, Mr. Caruso. Nothing to add, but I do believe that's something noteworthy because I wasn't here in August. I did not note this, but record circulation, correct? Ever in 51 years. Come on up to the podium. Take that victory lap.
Yeah, in July, I don't know if you remember, July 2024 was our 50th,
Mhm.
and we thought we had hit peak circulation that month, that we were never going to beat it. But we beat it in July 2025 by a pretty good margin. So, and actually August was our best August as well. So you'll see that in my next report.
So the July circulation was the largest circulation in the
Monthly circulation.
monthly circulation in the library's 51 years.
Yes.
Amazing. And that's
Yeah.
because of what you and your staff have been doing. So thank you very much for that.
Oh, you're welcome. It's our pleasure.
All right, 8.7, report from the township engineer. I'm sure this one won't be short. Mr. Johnson,
Now, we'll try to make it short.
you take all the time you need.
So I guess one of the major update, we had the roads program has occurred. They came through and all of the work is currently completed. Just some leftover line striping and minor punch list items for the contractor left to complete. Other than that, the board had previously asked us to take a look at the pedestrian crossings of Route 3 and Charles Ellis Boulevard. We have, since then, we took a look at it and we have had connected with PennDOT and they concurred. We're updating the plans for basically, we're going to improve that pedestrian crossing by modifying the pedestrian signals to give the pedestrians the lead time in the intersection to give them ahead of the cars coming out of Charles Ellis, and then also some additional signage to reiterate to the cars coming out making a left that they need to yield to pedestrians.
So that's at Charles Ellis. Or is there any other intersections?
So we have that one, they concurred and we're proceeding with updating that plan. We had also discussed with them a similar situation to various other intersections along the corridor. Those plans haven't been borne out, but we're gonna follow that same plan on the various intersections.
Awesome.
Mr. Chairman, at the strategic plan and comprehensive plan open house that was here last week, that was a major concern. So thank you for taking,
Yep.
I know that the board had directed you to do that, but I just wanted to let you all know that this is something that came up several times. So I think it's important that we let people know that that's being addressed right now.
And we
And
were-
I believe to that, we had looked at that one, and having looked into those, I believe kind of the expectation is there was a lot of work that was done along the corridor. Now it's in, we know how it's operating.
Yep.
Let's adjust the pedestrian accommodations.
I'm happy to see that we are ahead of the curve on that one. What
That's
else?
it.
That's it. Thank you very much. Any questions for the township engineer? 8.8, report from the township manager, Mr. Neese.
I have nothing new to report.
Thank you very much. All right, we'll move down to section 9, presentations. 9.1, police department presentation on the bike patrol program. Captain John Newell.
Wheelie and ride up there. There. In the front. So here today to talk to you guys a little bit about the bike patrol and its origin and how we came about getting it and the money for it. And we have our model here also available for that purpose. So there's a little history on the bike patrols. In the late 80s, Seattle was the first police department to start bike patrols. And they had originally it kind of designed it or came up with the plan because they were having a lot of issues with congestion and street crime. So they used it for accessing areas that they weren't able to get in due to traffic congestion, people, in populated areas, and also to help combat a lot of the street drug problems they'd have in some of the neighborhoods. Obviously, the bike's stealth, there's no noise to it. Bike officers could kind of creep up on the street level drug dealers and make arrests, and it was really successful. But after the origin and they started using it, they also started realizing that it had a really nice advantage they didn't really think about. So obviously deterring the crime with the patrol itself, they realized it was a great PR tool. So it was enabling the police officers to get into the communities and reach out to the members of the community. And the members of the community felt pretty comfortable, and they felt it was much easier to touch base with them and have a conversation with someone on a bike as opposed to the police car, which basically acts as its own barrier. So maybe whether it's the windows are up, doors are shut, it's just, it makes a barrier between the public and the police. So one of the things they realized was they were getting the feedback from the police officers on the bikes that, hey, this is great. We're getting a lot of feedback from community members. They feel like we're much more approachable. It gives us a really good connection, whether it's they're just coming and approaching them to talk about everyday neighbor, stuff that going on in neighborhoods, or giving them tips on crimes that occurred. But it was something they didn't initially plan that for part of the bike patrol was the community aspect and allowing the community to have a lot better communications. Once Seattle kind of started it, most of the other big cities kind of followed because of the success of Seattle's program, both to deter crime and getting out in the community and enabling the community to touch base and build a rapport. Like again, the communications were much better with the police officer on the bike. So a lot of the bigger cities started doing it, and then as that went on, everything usually in law enforcement starts on the West Coast, moves east. So then eventually went to the East Coast, not only with the big cities, but the smaller municipalities like Newtown, and our size municipalities and some smaller ones after that. How it came about here in Newtown Township was over the years, we've had an increase with a lot of the retail space. We have the hotels, we have wedding venues, and we knew that this was kind of coming. Also, there's been a lot more community events. We have the sundown at the circle. We have the Christmas tree lighting, which we've always had, the farmer's market, 4th of July parade. So we kind of thought it would be a great tool for that. And on top of it, getting into some of the neighborhoods that would allow us to get the bikes into, particularly Lister. It's a perfect neighborhood for that. A lot of, if anybody's been in there, they'd realize there's a lot of small streets, a lot of alleyways, things like that. So we can get to that neighborhood pretty easily and still be right in the center of town. So if something happens. So we can use it to get into some of the neighborhoods. We could also use it for our more the retail areas and also for all the special events we have. And more each year, we have more and more special events. We used it, I know, well, we used it for the July and we've used it to sundown and I think one of the farmers markets. So it's a great tool for that and to get out to the community. We were able to get the funding to start the program through the Delaware County Interactive Gaming Revenue Authority grant. So it's a grant that is provided to law enforcement and municipalities. It's revenue generated by the casino in Chester. And some of that revenue is distributed to the municipalities and the boroughs in Delaware County to help fund special projects. So we applied for the grant last year to start the bike patrol. And I think we used it for some stuff related to school resource officer. And we were lucky enough that we got $5,000 from it. And most of the money was used on the bikes. We were able to purchase 2 bikes and uniforms for the bike officers. As you'll see with Officer Edelblut, he's got the high visibility shirt. They're actually shorts and pants that he can use for the bike patrol. And then the bike itself, Johnny, if you just want to kind of show, it's got high visibility police markings on it. It's a mountain bike, it's 21 gears. It's got lighting, both regular white lighting to ride, and it's also got red and blue lights for the police stuff. So we were able to purchase 2 bikes. Yeah, no sign, Johnny just has to yell real loud for a siren. They do make sirens. Yeah. They do make sirens, but we did not opt for the siren option. But so we ordered 2 of the bikes, outfitted 3 of the officers, and then in June, we were able to send 3 more officers to the bike training. Bike training is going to be held at the Upper Darby Police Department. It's actually taught by IMPIMBA. It's the International Police Mountain Bike Association. It's a nationally recognized bike training program. They train law enforcement, EMS, park rangers. It's a week-long program that involves everything from maintenance to the bike to how to ride the bike in tactical environments, how to take somebody into custody, things like that. And Johnny can probably touch a little bit in a minute on that on the bike. But it's a week long. We were able to send 3 officers to the training in Upper Darby, and then they did successfully graduate and they did not get injured in doing so, which is great. And we just recently outfitted them with the bike uniform gear. The good news is we also applied for that same grant for this year. Well, I guess this past year, I don't know if it's really considered 2025, 2026, but we were awarded 7,500 hours this year for it. So our plan is to purchase another bike, get some more officers certified next year, additional uniforms, and then we have other money as part of that 7,500 set aside for some more stuff for a school resource officer, as far as stuff that he can give students, giveaways, things like that, and PR materials for the police department, especially with the Aeronomic, with the PGA coming up. I think that's probably why we got a little bit more. We were not only going to market Newtown Township, but obviously part of Newtown Township is being in Delaware County. So we did get the grant. We just got word about 2 weeks ago that we got the grant, so we should be getting the money soon. So that's how the bike patrol got started, and that's our plans on how to use it and how it was funded. Funny, just touch base real fast on the training, the school, what you guys did in the school.
Upper Darby guys, welcome. The Upper Darby guys are a wealth of knowledge. They're actually a full-time unit. So they're, all year round, 365 out on the bike. That's the way they patrol. So it was pretty intense at times, but like we were from Upper Darby all the way to Philadelphia to Penn's Landing and to the Art Museum. And if you know Upper Darby, it's very hilly. So they put you through the rigors of that. And we went into Philadelphia from time to time, just with part of the training in regards to that.
That's awesome. Any questions from the board?
So John, we buy him the equipment for the bike? I mean, as far as the special uniform?
The
and everything?
uniform, yeah,
Yeah.
so we, as part of the grant, the funding from the grant, the high visibility shirt, pants, we have winter jackets or kind of like all season jackets coming in. Eventually we'll probably get the lighter weight duty gear, like the gun belt, they sell like a lighter weight version for that. And then, helmet, obviously, he doesn't have it here, but, yeah, he does. So, yeah, the helmet itself, so, yep, special uniform for the bike, just because of the
Yeah,
high
it's totally
visibility
different,
part. Yeah,
totally
the
different
high
animal.
visibility part of it.
I will say I agree with the notion of they're pretty stealthy. I went to Westchester for undergrad, so they have a pretty expansive
Do you have
police
some
department.
engagements with the bike?
I will just tell you that we used to call them the wind, because one minute they weren't there, and the next minute they were, but no, my record is clean. Yeah, so,
Yeah, when I worked in media prior to coming here, I was a bike officer there, and you definitely can sneak up on people very easily. We really don't have the use for that here necessarily, but as far as public relations and getting out there, it's awesome.
and that's exactly what I was about to ask. When we talk about public relations, and I think what the phrase we're really talking about is community relations, right? So I guess with regards to you so far being out there, Johnny, I mean, what have you seen or heard from community members as you've been out kind of on patrol? Like, are you, I guess, obviously engaging more with people, but are they stopping you and asking questions about this as well, or?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everybody from store merchants to people just coming within town, residents. I've seen students from Culbertson and at the high school come up, approach. It's been such a great tool to our arsenal just to immerse and make our patrol a little more diverse, to, be a part of the community.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's perfect. Any other questions from the board?
Yeah, this is a great start with our trails and stuff to get back there. And I know we're looking to get the mobile unit too, four-wheeler, addition to this, to get in places that we really can't get to anymore. And this is an awesome start
Yeah.
with especially doing our trails now. But
Yeah,
this is a great start
yeah,
for,
I run up at Ellis and then down Goshen Trail and the Lister Trail. And the amount of people in there, there's a lot of people in there. And I don't think most residents realize how many people actually use those trails. And I can say they're pretty populated. And the meadow itself too, which I don't think a lot of people really realize that, but even the meadow, I've been running back in there and be surprised how many people are actually back there. So between the bikes and next year, if we get the ATV, I think we'll be ready to go and handle anything.
All right. And we'll move down to 9.2. He's not here.
Yeah, I'm not sure why Michael, the Eagle Scout candidate, wasn't able to be here. He had sent his presentation over, but if he doesn't come by the end of the meeting with the board's permission, if we could move him to the next meeting.
I don't think that's a problem. Yeah, is someone reaching out to him now? Just to ask him.
I'm going to reach out
All
to
right,
him. Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. All right, just let us know, George. Thank you.
Question. How are we doing everything over at your shop?
Good. Yeah, good. The crew's good. We're back on we were on the summer schedule where we were working 6 to 2:30. We're back to 7 to 3:30. We've been doing a lot of park work, a lot of road work, a lot of branches. So it's been a busy season, but it's good. And then working with the township engineer with the road program, it was great to get those 4 roads done this year.
Great, thank you, George.
Thanks.
Section 10, payments 10.1. Can I get a motion approving the following township escrow account releases that have been approved by our third-party professionals for completed work? 3523 Goshen Road for $899.50. 300 Cornerstone Drive for $1,100. 311 Newtown Road for $747.
Second.
Motion was made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Roberts Lycap. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? And carries. 10.2, can I get a motion approving the $120.50 refund to Eric Cox with the Fence Authority for a permit application review fee overpayment after it was determined by the Township Code Enforcement Officer that the permit fee were less than what was previously paid?
Second.
Motion made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Roberts Lycap. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Section 11, bills 11.1. I've reviewed the bills and I'll make a motion to approve the bills on check register A dated September 8, 2025, totaling $1,138,088.32.
Second.
Motion is made by the chair, seconded by Supervisor San Francisco. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Again, I've reviewed the bills, and so I'll make a motion to approve the payment of Pannoni up to $200,000 on billings through July 24th, 2025. Motion was made by the chair, seconded by Supervisor San Francisco. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Section 12, new business 12.1. Can I get a motion allowing the municipal authority to make the emergency maintenance repair of approximately 100 feet of township stormwater sewer pipe behind the French Road houses as part of its sanitary sewer replacement project, and to authorize the reimbursement to the municipal authority, currently estimated at $39,852.
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Chandler, second by Supervisor Roberts Lycap, and Mr. Neese, I'll turn it over to you.
So the municipal authority is doing a project up on French Road behind, I believe it's 3 houses. And as part of that project of replacing a municipal authority line, sanitary sewer line, we became aware of a water storm sewer line that had eroded around it, and the pipe itself had actually come apart in 2 different sections. And actually the bottom, because it was a corrugated pipe, the bottom had actually rotted out. So the water was going out the bottom of the pipe. And so we've approached the contractor who is doing the municipal authority work. They've given us a bid of $39,852 to do the work. And it has been reviewed by both our public works director and our engineer. We believe that is a reasonable price to do that work. It's actually emergency maintenance repair. We come under the emergency maintenance repair. We're replacing the exact same pipe in the exact same place, just because it's where the water's washed it out. We're having to fix that piece of pipe to make sure that we're not continuing to have erosion in an area where we have erosion because that pipe is washed out.
And to be clear, we're talking about a storm sewer. We're not talking about sanitary sewer.
Yeah, it's a.
Just want to make sure it's
storm
very clear
water
to
sewer.
everyone.
It's 2 different.
Yep.
two different pieces, but it happens that they both happen to share the same easement.
I understand. I just want to make sure we're fleshing out because you know
Yeah.
how things get legs, even though
Yeah.
it's printed out completely, that it's saying stormwater here.
Flushing.
We gotta flush this out, you know? That was a good one. Is there any other, board comment? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. 12.2, can I get a motion approving motion authorizing the request for bids for repairs at Stony Brook Boulevard retaining wall?
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Roberts Lycap. Mr. Neese.
Yeah, so if you're familiar with Stony Brook Boulevard, right up here at the corner of Bishop Hollow Road, where Campus Boulevard comes in and it changes over, if you are on the sidewalk there, actually, there's a section of, I don't know, probably 450 feet, or I guess maybe it's longer than that, that's actually owned by the township. George will tell you they get to maintain it, the sidewalk there. But one of the challenges is there's a stone wall, or I say stone wall, it's a pre-manufactured block wall that's actually leaning into the sidewalk, and has been now for several years, and it continues to shift forward or shift over into the sidewalk. Our concern is eventually that it could become dangerous. And so I asked the engineer to look into that. And we think that the project can be done for about $90,000, but we wanted to get that done so that we can get that. We're going to look actually to remove the wall and actually grade the wall, grade that back up so that we don't have this problem in the future. There may still need to be a small section of wall, as I understand it, but I think we're limited to about 2 feet high. I think right now it's probably about 4 to 5 feet high. And so that's the project, but we need to go out to bid and find out what it's actually going to cost.
Eric, from a timing perspective, understanding that we're already in September, I mean, when do you anticipate that this work would get off and running? Are we talking about after the winter time?
I mean, the scope of the project is removal of the wall, and then we can stabilize the slope with matting. So there's not really any harm to us going out and doing it late this fall into the winter.
But with regards to the leaning of the wall, you're not concerned from any safety perspective or anything?
No, I mean, I think we're taking the right action to proceed
Yep.
sooner than later on it, because it has continued to lead, and then it's
Yeah,
that
yeah.
time, yeah.
Well, you know, with Supervisor San Francisco and Supervisor Russo and a Supervisor Altieri, we all thought it was the leaning tower of, you know, Newtown, yeah, little leaning tower of Pisa. Yeah, listen, we're back from summer break. I had to try some of the dad jokes, you know, had to try it. All right, any other board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, motion carries. 12.3, can I get a motion approving the request for a 5-year extension of preliminary final land development approval for the Marriott Hotel Newtown Square Hospitality Realty Company LLC? Is there a second? I'll second that. So the motion was made by Supervisor San Francisco, seconded by the chair. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. 12.4, can I get a motion authorizing the advertisement for a hearing on September 22nd, 2025 to consider the application of Ivy Ballroom LP for an intermunicipal liquor license transfer to 3749 Bridal Walk, which is also the location of the Ivy Ballroom, just in case there's anyone out there wondering.
So moved. Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Roberts Lycap, seconded by Supervisor Chandler. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Okay. 12.5. So we will do, I'll read this first, and then we'll turn it over to the solicitor, and then based off of the comments that the board may have to the solicitor, we'll take the appropriate steps. So 12.5 reads, consider accepting or rejecting the lowest purported base bid for the Bartram Covered Bridge Timber Truss Repair Contract submitted by Delaware Environmental Construction Services LLC. This action is subject to concurrence by the Board of Supervisors of Willistown Township, who I believe are also meeting this evening on the same matter. Mr. Sikora, Solicitor Sikora, can you kind of talk to the board about these bids?
Sure, so there was a bid opening on August 21st, and this is for, so the Bartram Bridge, the historic bridge on the western end of the town on Boot Road needed repairs. There was some stonework that had been done previously, bid out, and now the truss work needs to be done. So a bid request for bids was sent out, published, and 3 bids were received. The lowest purported bid was Delaware Environmental Construction Services for a base bid of $558,600. And the second lowest bid was Eastern Highway Specialists, Inc. for a base bid of $608,000 even. When the engineer in charge of the project, it's Dave Newell, is running this project. That engineer reviewed the bids and determined that there was a couple problems. The first bid for Delaware Environmental Construction, unfortunately, the bid bond, just the wrong municipality. I think they wanted to do two bids for 2 municipalities on the same day, but we got the wrong bid. They did try to supplement later, but we don't take after submitted materials. There's rules about that. And then number 2, there was a statement of qualification of bidder where you kind of explain why you can do the job, and it's a signed document. And that wasn't completed. And so the board has the option of, because of those 2 defects or incompletions in the bid, and try to waive those, but you expose yourself to a challenge by someone saying that they were not waivable. You also retain the right to reject the lowest bid and go with the second. And the second would be Eastern Highway Specialists, Inc. And so we have both of those. I think the recommendation from the staff from Newtown was to reject the first bid and accept the second bid. I believe you're going to find out that's the same recommendation from Willistown staff and the administration to the Willistown Board of Supervisors. It's also meeting this evening. Both of any motion that you do is going to be contingent upon, any acceptance of a bid is going to be contingent upon Willistown also agreeing. So if you're not together, then we can't go forward because it's a joint project. So the recommendation would be to make a motion to reject the first bid and make a second motion to accept the second bid. And assuming Willistown does the same thing, we'll execute the contracts and move forward with the project.
Okay. So just to be clear, it's also that recommendation is also the recommendation that Willistown is getting as well.
That's my understanding.
Okay. Okay. Is there any board discussion based off of what Solicitor Sikora just said? With that being said, then I'll call for a motion if there's anyone on the board who wishes to make a motion.
Sure. I'll make a motion to reject the lowest purported bid for the Bartram Covered Bridge Timber Truss Repair Contract submitted by Delaware Environmental Construction Services, LLC as defective and or incomplete for failing to submit the proper bid bond and an executed competency of bidder's qualification statement.
Is there a second? Motion was made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Russo. Is there any additional comment from the board on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? So that bid has been rejected, and now we'll move down to 12.6. So I will rewrite this and say, can I get a motion accepting the second lowest purported base bid for the Bartram Covered Bridge Timber Truss Repair Contract submitted by Eastern Highway Specialists Incorporated? This action is subject to concurrence by the Board of Supervisors of Willistown Township.
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Russo. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed? Motion carries. 12.7, can we get a motion approving the township manager to provide a letter of support to Easttown Township for a grant application it is submitting for proposed planning for a sidewalk along Conestoga Road in Easttown Township?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Roberts Lightcap, seconded by Supervisor Chandler. Mr. Neese.
Yes, Easttown Township reached out to me about a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago, requesting that we give a letter of support for a grant that they were going for related to the sidewalk along Conestoga Road. Again, we see this as an advantage of continuing to, anytime that we get sidewalks along roads, even though it doesn't, this one doesn't specifically touch Newtown, it helps start connecting neighborhoods and moving us in a direction that allows to make our neighborhoods more walkable. And we would hope that they would support us in the same thing. So I would like to support them.
Any other board comment for Mr. Neese?
I mean, obviously, this isn't a grant that we would have been applying for.
It's not a grant that we are applying for. We're just supporting them in it.
Any other board comment? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, motion carries. 12.8, can I get a motion approving the advertisement in the 2025 Marple Newtown Bandorama, Bag Bingo, and Joss Festival publications at a cost of $325?
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Supervisor Roberts Lycap, seconded by Supervisor Chanlis. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. 12.9, can I get a motion approving the fee waiver for the annual St. David's Episcopal Church County Fair and Auction event totaling $3,786.50 as follows? Special event permit user fee, $250. Security deposit, $25. Tent permit, $2,700. 9/10 to $300 a tent. Police fees, 1 officer and 1 car for the duration of the event, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., $811.50.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Roberts Lycap. Any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. 12.10, can I get a motion approving the temporary closing of the Township Administrative Office from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. on Friday, September 19, 2024 during the yearly team building exercise?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made by Supervisor Chandler, seconded by Supervisor Roberts Lycap. Is there any board discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed, motion carries. We're going to go back up on the agenda to section 9, presentations, 9.1. We have an Eagle Scout presentation by Michael Dazen. Floor is yours, sir.
You just want me to stand here?
Yeah, you look, that's perfect right there.
Oh, all right, I don't need this then.
Yeah, don't put it up on the screen.
Yeah, no, that's fine then. So, my Eagle project is I'm trying to build mobile benches for the lower field at Drexel Lodge Park. You can go to the next slide. So the project's purpose is to build 4 mobile wooden benches. Each would be about 6 to 8 feet long for the lower field mobile park, because this will help benefit many people who use the lower field, such as the soccer teams, the lacrosse teams, and just any sporting event or event that goes on down there, as it'll provide seating for the players who are not actively on the field or not currently need somewhere to sit. Next slide. So the general plan I have for this is I will acquire the materials, which I already have like a whole financial budget for, cut and shape pressure treated wood. That way it does not need to be stained or painted and is all good. I will assemble the wood into benches, and then I will move all 4 benches to the lower parks. Next slide. And then that is the blueprint for the bench. As you can see, is 8 feet long, about like 1.5 feet, 2 feet wide, and I will make 4 of those benches for the lower parks. And that's just like the cutting scheme of the bench, like each part individually. Questions and comments about it?
Questions from the board?
When would you start the project?
As soon as I get approval from the Eagle Board, which would be tomorrow. So I'd probably start sometime either this weekend or next weekend, assuming I get approval from.
And how long do you think it'll take you to make the benches?
It would probably take anywhere between 2 weeks to a month, depending on how many volunteers I get from the troop and how fast we move. Shouldn't take too long. I should be able to get it done all by the end of October.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? Well, if you ever need any assistance, Supervisor Russo used to be a contractor, but now he just sits in a trailer and points to people all day, but he might remember how to use a hammer if you give him one. But all jokes aside, good luck with everything. I think I don't think we need a motion on this, but the board's in support of it, so best of luck to you.
Yeah, good luck.
All right, thank you.
And thank you.
And now we'll move down to section 13, board comment. If there's any board comment this evening. All right, and that's section 14, public comment. Is there any public comment? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.